Have you ever felt like God is taking too long? You pray, you wait, and nothing seems to change. In those moments, it's easy to wonder if God has forgotten or if we should just take control ourselves. But the Bible repeatedly reminds us of one important truth. God is never late. His timing is perfect, and we should trust His timing. Here are 3 reasons the Bible encourages us not to rush God. 1. God's timing is different from ours. Humans live by schedules, deadlines, and quick results. But God works on a different timeline. What feels like a delay to us might simply be God preparing something bigger than we can see. Throughout Scripture, many people had to wait before God's promises were fulfilled. Abraham waited decades for the promised son. Joseph waited years in slavery and prison before becoming a leader in Egypt. God was not late. 2. Waiting is often part of God's preparation. Waiting is often the season of preparation. Waiting strengthens our faith. It teaches patience, humility, and trust. Because if God gave us everything immediately, we might receive the blessing without the character needed to carry it. 3. Rushing can lead us outside God's plan when we become impatient. Sometimes we try to force things to happen ourselves. But rushing God can lead us into decisions that are not aligned with His will. Let's see the story of Moses and what happened when he tried to fulfill God's plan in his own timing. Moses grew up in the palace of Egypt, but he knew he was born as a Hebrew. Deep inside, he knew that he was meant to help his people. One day, he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. Instead of waiting for God's direction, Moses took matters into his own hands. He killed the Egyptian and thought it was an act to help his people, but when Pharaoh heard what Moses did, Pharaoh tried to kill Moses, so Moses ran for his life. The next day, Moses tried to stop 2 Hebrews who were fighting. Instead of respecting him, one of them said, "Who made you ruler and judge over us?" At that point, Moses was trying to rescue his people by his own idea, not by God's plan. He sensed his calling to help Israel, but he acted too early. The result? Fear, confusion, rejection, danger. But in Midian, Moses learned. It became a place where God reshaped him. Moses learned patience, humility, how to shepherd, which became symbolic leadership training and dependence on Him. Sometimes when we rush ahead, God allows us to go through a season that slows us down so He can prepare us properly. When God's timing came, everything changed. After those 40 years. God finally appeared to Moses at the burning bush. When God's timing came, Moses didn't have to force anything. God Himself opened the way. And this time, Moses wasn't acting out of impulse, fear, or pressure. He was led. God told him exactly what to do, step by step. God said He would be with Moses. He gave Moses the words to speak. He showed Moses the signs to perform. He reminded Moses that the mission wasn't about Moses' strength, it was about God's power. Moses didn't have to guess. He didn't have to rush. He didn't have to rely on his own logic like before. He simply walked in obedience, knowing that every step was backed by God's presence. And the man who once fled in uncertainty became the man who walked back into Egypt with clarity, direction, and confidence, not in himself, but in the God who sent him. Waiting doesn't mean doing nothing. Now you may think, if all things are done by God, should I just do nothing? Sometimes people think waiting means you just sit around, scroll endlessly, eat whatever you want, and hope something magical happens. But that's not waiting according to Bible. Real waiting is active. It's choosing discipline even when you don't see results yet. It's taking small steps that prepare you for the thing you're praying for. Waiting doesn't mean you pig out on distractions, excuses, or unhealthy habits. Waiting means you stay faithful with what's in your hands right now. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every 5 minutes or say, well, since it's not growing yet, I'll just waste my time. No, while the seed is hidden, you keep watering, learning, growing, and taking care of what matters. So when you're in a season of waiting, remember, you're not stuck. You're being shaped. And what you do in the waiting often decides what you become when the answer finally comes.